Guys, welcome back. It's a little bit more casual because we've got...
I actually just said I was considering wearing my pajamas today. I was like, am I not?
You look pretty dolled up for wearing pajamas as the next option.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure. And I was like, oh, nah.
No.
You look incredible. I've come as a highlighter.
I love it.
And I've come
You guys are
as
opposites.
myself. Absolutely not.
It's a very good t-shirt.
Just another one that I'm going to debut.
Oh, gosh.
I got this hat. Tell me, I actually got this one of my best mates.
Hang on.
Who's currently... And just so that we're
You
clear,
can't.
fellas,
No one can hear you when you move that far away from the microphone. Like Aiden's like about to have a bloody
fellas,
heart attack.
this is not for anyone. This isn't directed at anyone in here, but it's very funny. And I bought it for my best mate who's currently going through this.
Go on.
But it's also to a PSA for any women that might be looking for a sign.
Turn around.
Have you ever seen a more me hat? Turn around.
No, I am not. Oh my God.
I'm going to be out there doing God's work because there will be women that will be walking around going,
That's my sign.
should I, shouldn't I?
You're fucked.
Hey, babe. It's for the divorce party.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Not mine, Beck's,
yeah,
and not yours.
excellent.
Josh is like, what's going on?
I'm not sure if we have like any husbands that watch this podcast. Probably not. Probably not.
No, I mean,
Definitely not
do
now.
ours? I was gonna say. They're all
No wives either.
Just producer Aiden. He's the only
It's
husband that
Aiden,
watches.
but yeah, no. So have we got it?
Very
Look at that though. Is that not
nice.
gonna? I want to clock a woman going.
Thank you. Yeah, write that down. Leave husband. Do pop that on your to-do list for today. But Tay, we have you back in the studio
We do.
for another episode of the Conscious Salon podcast. And this is so important because obviously Tay is a huge part of the Conscious Salon, which the next few months I really want to highlight this because people don't understand the work that you do at Conscious because you work so much with the salon's teams to help them to move forward because the one thing I've learned about mentoring is if we came in and just mentored the salon owners, slow progress. If we mentor the salon owners and you mentor the teams and get the most out of the teams, everyone is moving forward and it's a completely different pace.
Yeah.
So you work with our clients in becoming a conscious salon, all of their teams, and you also work directly with our salon owners, giving them numbers feedback.
Yeah.
And one thing I know to be true about you, having known you for 100 years, is that you have a phenomenal gift for helping people to see their potential and for also raising the standard in a salon and in a team. So you can take people who have blocks around rebooking, blocks around retail sales, blocks around servicing clients 100%, and you can elevate their results while also helping them to believe in themselves. And it's a phenomenal gift.
Thank you.
Wow.
So
Because I'm just here for good looks.
You with your hat.
But Tay, we want to do an episode today.
Yeah.
And this episode is designed for salon owners to hear and also for their team leaders to hear or anyone who's gunning for leadership. Someone who's like, I want to shoot my shot. I want to go into leadership. I want leadership opportunities. A person who's hungry for more. We're going to give them your brain and some tips around helping to motivate and hold the team accountable. So it's going to be a little bit rogue.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's definitely been something that I have developed over the last 8-9 years of working with you guys. I think definitely motivating a team, it's all like you need to come from a place of like love, compassion, and like softness. I think a lot of time people think like when you have to have disciplinary, like obviously depending on what it is, but like, you know, performance reviews and that sort of thing, depending on where they're at, sometimes it's just getting curious around why they are experiencing what they're experiencing or like where they feel like they're missing the mark. I think that for me, whenever I come up to the team about that sort of thing, whenever I come from that point, I think it just opens the conversations. It's not accusatory. It's not, you know, they don't get the defenses up and it's just us having a conversation of like, hey, I've noticed that this, you know, your rebooking hasn't been sitting where it normally is. Like, has something happened? You know, where do you feel like your block is? Why do you feel like you're not reaching that anymore? And I feel like a lot of the time, to be completely honest, it's like, you know, people get complacent and, you know, you get into the day by day. So often that's all it is. And it's kind of reframing your brain into being, okay, I need to have this at the forefront of my mind and bring this to my attention rather than anything else. But then if it is something that they're like, oh, you know, I had 4 clients that didn't rebook, And it really shot my confidence. Like, all right, well, let's work through this together. Let's have a conversation. Let's, do role plays. How can we then support you into feeling really, really comfortable and confident in this again?
What are the aspects of your role, Tay, that you find to be more challenging?
Ooh. I think definitely having hard conversations. I tend to be a bit of a people pleaser. So I think having conversations with people, like if they're, not meeting the mark or not meeting the standard, or like disciplinary conversations, just like, getting that, if they're, not meeting where they normally are, like kind of having that conversation and like opening it up. And for me, I think coming from that place of curiosity and like being inquisitive really removed that block from me, rather than having to feel like I have to sit down this people and be like, why aren't you performing? Because really, if I were to sit down and do that with most people, that's not going to land well with them. They're going to get defensive, and it's not going to, the conversation isn't going to be constructive. And for me, going into something like that, I don't even know what I would do. Yeah. Like as soon as I kind of get the defenses, I would be like, oh, I don't know what to do here.
I feel like that's been one of the biggest transitions for you, is that you have gotten really comfortable with having those conversations, but also having the curiosity, because I feel most people think that leadership looks like bossing people around, telling people what to do, and like kind of that like mean boss thing. And then if it's not that, it will flip really hard into the like, I really want to be liked, so I'm not going to have any like tough conversations or any accountability or anything like that. What I've seen you do with really embracing curiosity is really like going with data. Like, so things, you've got evidence there to support whatever it is that you need to talk about. So if it is a low rebooking rate, okay, let's look at week to week to week. This week you did, you rebooked 9 out of 10 clients. The week after you only booked 3 out of 10.
Yeah. This
is where we can see. Let's look at this week. Let's see what's going on. What can you tell? Was there things happening for this person personally where they weren't focused on it? Did they have clients that weren't aligned? Were there like extenuating factors that we can look at and be like, okay, cool, that makes sense? Or is it just a thing of like, I had a block. I'm not thinking about this. I'm not prioritizing it. And even in the car on the way here, Tay and I traveled in here this morning. You've had to have some tougher conversations this past month, and having a couple, you've had to have some of those conversations within our own team, and our team having that realization, even we were talking about how a team member had kind of received that and had been quite taken aback and quite emotional, not about your delivery, about her performance, because she was so unaware of how this had been playing out, because she had extenuating circumstances, she was distracted. And when you had that curiosity, you were able to support her, but also show her, here it is, and I'm here to help you and support you with it.
Yeah.
And we create a plan from there. When you think about that evolution, as we were talking about in the car, talk me through how you feel with that shift up, with how you're now leading and supporting, but also holding them accountable. How do you feel that that's happened for you?
Yeah, I think I've always noted the girls after I'd had to have a few hard just to update them with what was going on, because obviously we worked together. But I think in the past I would have messaged them before and be like, hey, this has happened. Like, I want to approach it like this. Like, what do you think? Like, kind of trying to solve it. Whereas now I feel like I don't have to have that buffer. It's just like, this is what I've done. This is how I handled it. If there's anything else like I need to do to follow up, let me know. And I think, just coming from that way has been really, really helpful. And I think I'm not as stressed going into those situations because I have gone in, like, done a few now. And I think before these conversations in the last month, before going into them, I just remind myself, like, if I don't make these moves, then nothing's going to change. And I think for me, in my mindset of like, because I don't like having confrontational conversations or telling anyone, doing that role for me, because I think about that, like, that boss is like that bossy person. And I hate saying that, like, I'm salon manager or salon coordinator, because I don't want to be perceived like that. So that's how my view personally is on it. But I think going into it and thinking, okay, if I don't do this, impact isn't going to change. No one's going to change what they're doing, and everyone's going to keep struggling, or, resentment's going to build, or whatever it is. So I have to remember, like, I'm coming from a place of curiosity. It's always going to be a place of care and love. And how they take it is up to them. But hopefully by the end of the conversation, we come out with like a better result, and they feel good and I feel good, and we can move forward together.
And even with that, there's been moments where you've had that thing of like, I'm pretty sure it was okay. Like, I'm going to check in tomorrow, even realizing if in that moment it doesn't feel, super like positive and amazing, if there is that reaction, that processing time, that's okay and safe as well.
Yeah.
It's not overanalyzing or freaking out with it. It's going, cool. I've done what I needed to do. They've understood. I'll check in tomorrow and see how everything's feeling with that.
Yeah.
Tay, I want to talk about I think this is a really important part of being a team leader. I want to talk about the being friendly, but also holding people accountable and that transition and the boundaries that you have in between that.
Yeah. I think, with the girls, I can always have a joke, but there's always a line. And I think I always try to keep that line of like, we're friends, but like, we're not. I think for me, like, you know, going out and, you know, not that I ever would, but like go out and party with them or like do that. Like that is a line for me. I'm like, I need to keep that in there. But I think definitely, I don't know. I think because we do have that relationship where we are friends, but when we have those conversations, like there's a respect there. And I don't think, and it's not just a respect of them respecting me. I also respect them. And I think that's where like it becomes really easy, because then when I do kind of have to switch into that, okay, we need to kind of have a chat. It's not coming out of nowhere because I don't ever hold them accountable, but it's also in a way of like, okay, now like not like it's not playtime now. We need to like really talk about this.
Playtime is over.
Tay,
I want to give some really practical things today because I wish I had access to this years ago. I would love you to give 3 tips on what salon owners or team leaders can do to hold their team more accountable. So whether it's like phrases that you love to use, something practical that they can implement straight away.
Yeah. I think, phrasing wise, I really love, like I've noticed a pattern, or I've noticed, you know, that you haven't been performing the way that you normally are. Like, please tell me a little bit more about like what you've been experiencing, or tell me, you know, what's been happening for you. Always coming from that inquisitive, like questioning kind of place, rather than your numbers aren't up to scratch. What are you doing? Like just really like coming at it from a soft place, because you also don't know what someone's going through. You know, they might be holding something in and not talking about that. So I think definitely starting off in that way.
I love that. So get curious and like really see, like, I've noticed this, rather than why are you not?
Yeah. What was your question again?
I want 3 practical tips.
3 practical. So first one's get curious.
Get curious. And then we've got asking that phrase that I love of I've noticed a pattern here. Tell me about it.
Yeah. And if you're someone who like isn't great at giving feedback, I think for me, especially at the start, is like, drawing on your numbers. So like numbers never lie. And this is also something when you're sitting with them saying like, numbers don't lie. This is what I can see, you know, over the past 3 months. Tell me about what, you know, have you felt a shift? Have you got a block on that sort of thing? And I think kind of removing the emotion from it and being like, these are the facts. This is what's happening. How can we push forward? And always working with them.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is why I think it's so important for team members to see their numbers, and for salon owners or for team leaders to actually debrief numbers. Absolutely. So many salon owners want to withhold that, which I'm like, but the person could go home or like go to their iPhone and add up on a calculator and know what they're turning over anyway for the salon. But people can be so hesitant to share numbers. Can you talk through the way that you debrief numbers, like our Tuesday morning debrief? Yeah. And then the one-on-one numbers debrief as well?
So on Tuesday morning, after our pump up, we go through our total, like, so we have a goal each week. So we go through that, our total, our services, retail, rebooking, new clients, treatments and reviews, so Google reviews. And all of these parts are so important, and we just added the total to our boards as well. But just going through and saying, like, highlighting where they're doing really, really well. And I think this is something that gets missed so much in every single workplace, not just in our industry. It's like, celebrate your team. Like, they know that they're doing well. They may know they're doing well, but hearing it from you and saying, like, you guys did incredible. You smashed it. You were plugged in. I could hear all the conversations. Like, that just gives them that little motivation of like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And even though they may know that, hearing that is a really, really big difference. But even with rebooking or like retail, just say, you know, was slower than the week before, highlighting, guys, this is where we're seeing last week. We saw a little bit of a dip this week. Did anyone have anything kind of come up for them this week that stopped them from retailing or stopped them from educating their clients? And just say, cool, this week I want us to all really, really plug in, finding problems, offering solutions, and, you know, really making sure that we're having those conversations, putting the products back in front of the clients. So just reiterating the things that you already know. And sometimes it's just that little refresher that people get that little bit of motivation of going, oh yeah, I need to do that.
Or I need to stop talking about my breakup or my new relationship or whatever it is. And I need to bring it back to the client.
That's it.
And every Tuesday, Tay does this with the team. It takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
and she just sets the energy. So it's always a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
We debrief numbers. It's not about shame. And when we have a dip in something, okay, I've noticed this, and your phrase is always, I want us to plug in and watch this number this week.
Yeah.
But it's
it
exciting.
creates, I think, really good transparency, motivation. People know what they're working towards. You can celebrate, creates collaboration. Like, it's plus.
Yeah.
Stop withholding your numbers, guys. Share your shit, because if your team know what they're working towards, they're going to start hitting it.
Absolutely. And I think a really big thing that we started doing in that is our shout outs too, which is massive. Like, you know, just say someone had a really big week in retail the week before. I was like,
celebrating it.
incredible week this week, Jazzy. Like, you did X amount in retail. We are so incredibly proud of you. Like, and that's the thing.
And the
Like,
whole
yeah,
team's like,
that's
they
it. And
love
like, who doesn't want their whole team to be like, fuck yeah,
Totally.
you're doing amazing.
Yeah.
So
Seen
it
and
just gives that little
celebrated.
bit more of a push and like keeping everyone
Stunning.
together.
Do you know what's really beautiful? I was talking to someone the other day, and I was editing. I'd taken a video of our morning pump up, and I was listening back to the video, and in it, someone had done an incredible retail that week, and you said, you know, yay, like this person's done amazing retail, blah blah blah, and everyone starts clapping in the team. And I thought about it, and I was like, wow, we really do have this beautiful support where it's literally a feather in everyone's cap when someone does well. It's not competitive. Everyone's genuinely really happy for each other, which is amazing. And it's such a testament to the culture that you've set.
Thank you.
How good.
Tay, I would love you to give one piece of advice to team leaders, people who are
Ones that
wanting
want to shoot their shot, I reckon.
Well, no, we did shoot their shot last time for the last
did
episode
we?
with Tay.
Yeah.
I want to know,
I'll have
what
to
would
listen
you
to that
say?
one
It's very persistent. What would you say to team leaders who want to hold their team more accountable, but they feel scared to?
Ooh. I
That's a
think
good one.
like take the emotion out of it. Like I think they're just, and I always try to remember myself, like it's like a job interview. Like they're as nervous as what you are
Yeah.
to have these conversations. Keep it at curiosity, keep it really light, and also just like take your emotion out of it. Like at the end of the day, you're trying to make your business better and like your team better, because when everyone's thriving, everyone does really, really well and everyone's more connected. So the more that you can then motivate them and find out the root of the problem and work with them, and also not just having one conversation with them. Like if it is something and then it keeps happening, it's like, hey, you know, I noticed that you said to that client, do you want to rebook online? So it's just like catching those little things as well throughout the day, and saying them like, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to do these things. And, you know, I think that also adds a little bit of a fun element to it where it's not just like, what are you doing? It's, you know, hey, like I noticed that you did that. What's going on?
Yeah.
And just kind of like reminds them throughout the day without you feeling like you're going like berating them.
Yeah, or the mean boss.
Yeah.
Love
Absolutely.
that.
I don't know if that
Well
made
done,
sense.
mate. That's
I think the
wonderful.
biggest thing to stress here is that we, as salon owners, you need to understand that if you get your numbers up, it will create regulated feelings for you in your business. It is
Yeah.
consistent, sustainable, regulated business.
Yeah.
You have to be numbers focused, and to be numbers focused, you have to hold your team accountable.
Absolutely.
Guys,
yeah.
killed it.
Yeah.
Nice little
I
hot
love
bite-sized
that.
episode.
Hot bite-size.
So good.
Great job, Tay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tay.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon podcast.
Love you guys. Stay conscious.
Stay conscious.
Stay conscious.